now we're going to handle sleeping. Sleeping is, what do they say? We spend 1/3 of our time sleeping. So the quality of your bed, the quality of your pillow, the height of your pillow relative to your bed and your position, your body position, is going to be critical in order to keep your body in what? In a lower energy state, right? So how many of you spend your nights just flopping around, thrashing around? You get up in the morning, you're uncomfortable, you didn't sleep well, you have a hard time going to sleep. Sleep is one of the biggest issues, and lack of sleep over time leads to lowered immunity, lowered resistance, lower oxygenation in the brain. We already talked a little bit about that. Depression, mood swings, lowered appetite, faulty digestion. I mean, it just breaks you down. The only time that your body actually repairs itself from the stresses of the day is when you sleep. And it has to be good, solid, sound sleep. You've got to go through the REM cycle of sleep, the real deep phase sleep, okay? So what we're going to handle is I'm going to show you strategies that you can take you where you are relative to space-time, okay, gravity, and position yourself better so you get more optimal sleep. Now, I have to explain something a little bit first. Remember we talk about, or I continuously talk about, how it's about twist, tension, and torque on your meningeal sleeve. If I pulled my brain and my spinal cord out of my body, chances are it will not hang straight down like this. It's 78% fatty tissue, so if I pick it up, it's almost like picking up a jellyfish at the beach. It should just hang straight down, if you can visualize that. It won't. It's going to twist, it's going to torque, but ultimately it's going to have a little twist to either the left or the right, and that's its neutral position. So let's just visualize me in my neutral position. Let's say it's here. This is neutral. By definition, anything out of this position, think of up here, if I go this way or I go this way, it's going to change the tension on that rubber band coating to the brain and the spinal cord, okay? So if I increase tension, that means I increase tension throughout the entire system. I can lay in that position for a little while, but then I'm going to have to move because the body's saying, I don't like this. It's building up way too much tension. So what I want to do is I want to take me in this position, and in this position I have to fill this gap or this gap, which is why one pillow will not fit. It may be perfect here, but this is a smaller gap than over here. Now, in order to lie on that pillow, I've got this going on, okay? If I'm on my back and I have a pillow back here that is real big and it pushes me forward, how would you like to stand like this all day long? You think you're going to increase tension in your system? Absolutely, okay? So what we're going to use is we're going to use a stack of towels. I use terry cloth towels for a very simple reason. They don't break down, okay? I can also fold them and I can adjust it so that I get it exactly right. And here's the important piece. Keep in mind that the body is a single synchronized functional unit and it is a precision instrument. The thickness of one towel is going to make or break this equation. So again, with my lovely assistant Stevie, I'm going to demonstrate this. So Stevie, you like to lie on which side?
My right.
Her right side. Okay, so I'm going to have you hop up here and face the camera as if you're lying in your bed on your right side. Now, notice what I did with Stevie. And again, if we look at all the advertisements out there, they'll show pictures of the perfect shaped pillow and the perfect shaped mattress and all those things. They'll show how it creates a straight line down here. And guess what? I don't want that. How many of you in reality think you have an absolutely straight spine? Well, if you have any tension in your body at all, I can tell you you don't, okay? So what we have to do is we need to take her spine not from a straight spine, but into a position of it's neutral. Now, the patients that are under my care, that neutral tension is changing because what's happening is we're releasing tension on the system. We're releasing those compensations so their bodies literally go through this change over time where they start to literally straighten out, okay? And in the case of my patients, what will happen is the height of their towel will actually change every 3 or 4 days. because their body is dynamically going through changes over time, okay? With Stevie lying down on this stack of towels, some of you are probably looking and saying, oh my goodness, that's a huge towel for such a small woman, okay? It is, and I'm going to show you how. But I'm showing you on purpose to start big, to start too big, because we're going to differentiate how do we break it down to find that neutral. I'm going to make it too much, then not enough, and then too much, and we're going to slowly get into the perfect zone. The first thing we need to do is we need to make sure that her body position is stable, okay? Meaning if I go like this, you see how you want to fall back, okay? If she wants to fall back, that means it's too high. It's like a wedge, it's pushing her back, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to split the difference here, okay? I'm just going to take that towel and I'm going to break it in half. You see how all of a sudden her shoulder lines up a little bit better. So I'm going to challenge it again. Still falling back a little bit. You feel that?
Yeah,
it's a little better though, isn't it? Okay. Now I test her, is she falling forward? No, she doesn't really fall forward, but she still kind of falls back. So I'm going to have you lift up, and we're going to split the difference again, okay? Now I'm going to make this so it doesn't fall off the table. Okay, there we go. Now, in this position, notice how you're falling forward, okay? That just doesn't even look right, okay? And it certainly doesn't feel right to her. So we're going to have to monkey around with this a little bit. So I have this towel, and I'm going to simply double that towel, okay? Now, does that feel a little better?
Yeah, it's good.
It's a little bit better, okay? Now, I'm going to try to push her forward. She doesn't fall forward. I'm going to try to pull her back. She doesn't really fall back. And if I take her hand, she doesn't really know what to do with this hand, okay? But if I take that hand and I just kind of get it out of the way, all right, just, yeah, let it flop like that, okay? Again, she's not falling forward. She's not falling back. Now, you're not going to sleep like this. I'm just doing this so I can demonstrate a little better. No, keep it there, okay? Now, what I want you to notice now is I want you to notice her face. So we've got the body, Stevie's body is in a neutral position. She's neither falling forward, she's not falling back. She's pretty stable here, okay? Now, if you notice, she's having a hard time keeping her eyes open. And she doesn't want to admit that she feels like falling asleep and taking a nap right now, okay? But go ahead and close your eyes, okay? So this is the next phase. First we get the body in neutral, and then we're going to focus on facial tension. And where you're really going to feel the tension is around the eyes, okay? So if you look at her eyes, her face, very, very relaxed, okay? Now, open your eyes. Now you notice how it took a moment for her to kind of get her focus when she opened her eyes. Now how did that feel?
I'm sleepy.
Yeah, she's sleepy. Instantly she's sleepy. Now here's the weird thing. I could put her on a cement floor with a cement block if it was the exact right height, and she would be fine. I spent 9 months sleeping on a hardwood floor with a stack of towels for my right side because that's what kept me in neutral. Now, with this in her neutral tension, she's not going to really move around much at night. Okay, that feels pretty comfortable, doesn't it? She's about ready to take a nap, all right? So I guess we'll turn the cameras off and we'll leave you for a while, all right? But notice how she's also not trying to figure out what to do with this arm. Everything's just in neutral. Now, I want you to watch this. Go ahead and lift your head up, Stevie, and drop back down. Yeah, you see how she's having to sort of figure out how do I get comfortable here, okay? Now, go ahead and close your eyes. Let this go. Okay. And just look at her face. Look at the body tension. Okay, breathe in, breathe out, let your body go. Okay, now open your eyes. And boom, they just open. Okay, now here's the question. Is it easier to keep your eyes open or closed? So keep them open for a moment. Just notice what that feels like. Take a couple of breaths. Okay, now close them. And breathe in. And open. Is it easier to keep them open or closed?
I would guess open.
Yeah, feels better open, okay? Yeah. Now lift up again and back down. Okay, and again, you see she just kind of relaxes into it. Okay, go ahead and close your eyes, take a deep breath, And exhale, let your body go. Now open. Okay, breathe in. Exhale, let your body go. And you can see her eyes, she just looks like she wants to close them, okay? Is it easier to open or close them?
Yeah, I'm more comfortable closing.
More comfortable closing. Okay, so this is the position. Now, again, we can change it. We can actually add, I'm just going to add 1 thickness of a towel. Go ahead and lift your head up. And you watch her, okay, from television land, okay? Breathe in and exhale. And close your eyes. And breathe in and exhale. And open your eyes. Now, which one do you like better, this one or the one before?
I think the one before.
Yeah, the one before. And you can even tell, watch this. Notice her body. It's subtle, but I want you to watch. Lift your head up, back down. And right away, you feel her body just relaxes a lot more. Does that feel more relaxed to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so remember, your body is a single synchronized functional unit, and it is a precision instrument. The thickness of one towel will make or break this equation. All right, so this is how you would set yourself up on your bed. Now, obviously, your bed is not like this table, okay? But the principles apply. You're going to first make sure your body doesn't fall forward or backward. And then you're going to find exactly that neutral position where your eyes will close naturally on themselves versus staying open, okay? And you'll have to play around with it a little bit, okay? If you're under care of an advanced biostructural correction doctor, that will change. Now, what happens if you do this, you get everything right, and you still wake up in the morning and your low back hurts, your neck hurts, your feet, you have plantar fasciitis, your knees, whatever. If you're experiencing that, now you have to deal with your bed, okay? And what it means is your bed is too soft. I am not at all a proponent of these NASA foam beds, whatever they call them, okay? You know the ones I'm talking about. You go to the malls and you can find them, okay? Yes, that may be NASA technology, but guess what? That technology was to absorb G-forces as these guys are taking off and hurtling through space. It is not designed to have you sleep like this. And again, the whole principle that they're selling them on is, well, it allows your shoulders and your hips to sink in nicely so it straightens your spine. The relative position that you're putting the spine is, you're doing this. How comfortable is that?
No.
Right? Which is why when people, you don't like that, do you? Okay, even with that pillow, okay? But that's the relative change. Now, it's subtle, okay? I'm over-exaggerating. But remember, the body is a precision instrument. So a little bit of change like that over time will have a negative effect. Now, at first, it may feel great to be in those beds. But after a period of time, 6 months or so, when everything sort of molds to you, it's not so good, okay? If you have one of those air mattress beds, crank it up to the highest setting. Make it as firm as you possibly can. Keep in mind, like I said earlier, I spent 9 months as I was going through the unwinding process to where now I can actually sleep in a bed with just a pillow in neutral. Okay, now I do have the pillow the right height, okay? But I spent 9 months on a wooden floor as I went through that process of unwinding, changing the stack of towels over a period of time because my mattress was just too soft, okay? So that's how you handle the sitting, the standing, and the sleeping portion.